So I wanted to talk about the new 5-year renewal for Texas homestead exemptions. I got a letter earlier this year, and it told me I was going to have to reapply for my homestead exemption. And I want to thank Willowbit and Title for publishing this article today. So I'm giving them credit for me getting the information. But I actually, back when they first started auditing homestead exemptions, because there's a lot of homestead fraud going on, I was one of the first they audited. Of course, I live here. So it's my homestead, sent in the documents. And then this year, I want to say January, February, don't remember exactly when, they sent me a document by mail. It came from Collin County because I happen to live in Collin County. And then there it said you have to reapply for your homestead exemption. So this is a new rule that just started in 2024. So every 5 years, you're going to have to renew your homestead exemption. You have to prove that you still live there. It's your homestead. Now, what does homestead exemption do for you? It gives you some legal protection in bankruptcy and other things such as that. So it's extremely important you keep it. Also, with the new property tax reduction, as it was called last year, I don't know about you, but I didn't get the average of $1,200 savings. Mine was less than that. Most people I know, theirs was less than that, at least in the city where I live. It's several hundred less than that. But you definitely, when you get that notice in the mail, it's going to give you an online or a paper way to submit your documents. You're going to need at least a copy of your driver's license. It's going to ask you things such as when you bought the house, who all's on title. And I had a change on my title, so I had to call them. And they're very helpful at Collin County. My hat's off to them. They helped me out. They said, and it was late in the day, they said, well, we probably won't get the answer today, but we will tomorrow. And the lady there left me a voicemail, told me they had everything. So when you do file for homestead exemption, you want to make sure that you have your driver's license at that current address. You want to make sure your insurance is going to that address. You want to make sure bank statements are going to that address. Utility bills are going to your home address. Most of us don't get things by paper anymore. We get it by email. Probably 70-80% of us. There'll be some that don't. But it's very important you have all that because you never know what they may ask for. Mine was very light. I've been in my house well over 20 years. So I definitely have a record. But again, when you get that document in the mail that says you have to file, you have 30 days from that date to do so. If you don't, you could lose your homestead exemption. And there goes your tax breaks. If you have an over 65 exemption, that goes away. A disability exemption, that would go away. Why are they doing this? Because of homestead fraud. So you want to make sure that you have all your ducks in a row. And if you bought a home, it's not the way it was when I bought my home, where you had to be in the home January 1st of the year that you filed for the homestead exemption. Now you can file it once it's recorded. That usually is about 30 days after you close and fund. You don't have to have a driver's license with your picture on it. You just need to have a driver's license showing that address. So if you can at least supply that right there will get you through it. And again, they're going to ask you some other identifying information, who all is on title. It's going to ask for a lot of their contact information, identifying information on them. So make sure that you do not let that fall through the crack. If you lose your homestead exemption, don't know how long it takes for it to come back, but you're losing money. And if you're turning 65, make sure that you file that. And most those documents do need to be notarized whenever you turn 65 or you file those special exemptions typically require you to get it notarized. I happen to be a notary, so if you need that service, I make an offer, but you'd have to come to me for me to do it at no charge. But I want to put that out there. So if you have any questions about the homestead exemption or the new 5-year renewal, because I've been reading a lot on Nextdoor, people saying, is this a scam? It's not. And I'm thankful to Will Bin Title for putting this article out today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. All my information is going to be at the end of this video. See you next time.